Greetings, just taking a quick look at the East Pacific. We've got a couple of things to talk about here. One is this region of thunderstorms over here, and the second is convection over Central America over here. These are primed for potential tropical cyclone development in the next few days. So looking at this, let's also take a quick look at the group energy from lightning, which is also, well, I'm showing it just because it looks cool, and you can see the system, or the area of thunderstorms over Central America, has quite a bit of lightning within it. The system over here, which is the main one we're going to be looking at for development into a potential tropical cyclone, has less lightning. There's more off to its east. So looking at the GFS forecast, we can see our low pressure system lying out here with those rain on the right side of it wrapping in, and if we move forward we shall see that this thing picks up pretty good and pretty quick. That is only 18 UTC on the 6th of June, so tomorrow. We've got, according to the GFS, a rapidly intensifying storm. Looks like a hurricane. 946 according to this model. We'll have a hurricane by Friday. But of course we don't look at just one model, we have to look at more, because the GFS is prone to rapidly strengthen these storms. So here we've got the GFS, not the GFS, the ECMWF. This is the European Center model, and it's got a pretty darn good reputation, and this one also has a storm spinning up and heading off into the lesser reaches of the Eastern Pacific. Now you'll notice it's also got a second system behind the first system developing, so even potentially two tropical cyclones. Just to be even more confident on this forecast, let's look at a third model. This one is the Canadian model, and there is the low pressure system at 12 UTC on Tuesday, 5th of June. That's today. Let's move forward and you'll see the low pressure system deepening and the storm strengthening. The pressure is dropping less rapidly in this case than in the global forecasting system model, and that looks more like a tropical storm type system. And then the second one is also developing behind it to the east, and that is by the 11th of June. Now if we return back to the enthusiastic GFS, we'll see our hurricane off here, and watch the second system to its east. It also develops quite rapidly. However, this is the GFS and it does like to blow these things up. But with the ECMWF also indicating a second storm, we have to say it may well be the case that we'll have two tropical cyclones in the next week in the Eastern Pacific. Overall, I'd put the most weight on the ECMWF, as it does have the best reputation really for in this scenario, I would say. And that model, to confirm, has a storm developing. Looks like it's developing into a tropical storm through Thursday into Friday in terms of UTC time, and then moving off, and with the second system developing into middle of next week. So we'll see how this all pans out. Very interesting situation in the East Pacific. Taking a look at the sea surface temperatures, you can see that it's pretty warm out here, certainly warm enough for tropical cyclone development. Roughly looks like 28, 29 degrees off the coast there. But if we look at the anomalies, which are the differences from the normal temperatures, it's actually quite significantly warmer than normal to the north of the East Pacific, and then there are some cooler patches associated to the south. This is a quick look at the maximum potential intensity, which is a plot which is an estimate of the deepest pressure, the lowest pressure that a hurricane could have in this region at this point of time based on the environmental conditions. And you can see that it is down at in the darkest of the blues, which indicates pressures of 880 millibars or lower, which is extremely low, but this is not unusual for this region. And the other thing you can see is the steep drop-off as you leave this region, and so the hurricane, any hurricane that forms here, will quickly dissipate as it moves into this region. If these storm systems develop into tropical cyclones, they'll be given the name. We can predict the name, we know the name because it's defined with the WMO and the World Meteorological Organization. And if there are two, or the first one will be Aletta and the second one will be Bud. So to wrap this all up, what have we learnt? Well, this system off to in the eastern Pacific, but off to the west of it, is potential hurricane, maybe tropical storm, but if it does develop into a tropical storm or hurricane, it will be Aletta, and this pile of stuff over here could be Bud. So we shall see what will happen here. Will we have two tropical cyclones? Will we have one tropical cyclone? Will we have nothing? Will we have two hurricanes? I don't know, but it'll be fun and interesting to watch over the next few days how this whole situation develops in the eastern Pacific. The good news is that at the moment, at least, the models do not indicate either of these storms impacting the mainland of Central America.